Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 11th. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up in about 9 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be should be good to go. Looks like we are to go here. So I'm gonna go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium. Send out. Looks like we are good to go. So as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. One hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, and back down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks good. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 11th. It is 6:24 right now. We got market opening up in about 6 minutes. So I've marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity above is at 44,439. Closest level below is at 44,420. We got more levels down here, more levels up here. We got pretty much levels on both ends. Um, One thing to keep in mind is that Powell's going to be speaking at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be one of the big news events, of course, for today. Um, he's going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So we need to make sure we put a line there so that we are aware that Powell's going to be speaking. So we got liquidity sitting up here. I'm just going to mark up these ones because those targets are probably going to get knocked out pre-market. Couple targets around this area. Down here as well. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 11th. It is 6:25 right now. We got market opening up in about 5 minutes. I've marked up liquidity here. This liquidity is pretty much getting hit pre-market. I'll just take that off. Looks like majority of people are here so far. So morning, Maria, morning, Lila, morning, Christian, morning, Sam, morning, everybody. Yeah, let's take a look at what's going to happen next. So looking at current price, looks like buyers are trying to get back in control over here from this point. And an engulfing V1 right here. Price is kind of just going sideways at this point, but we'll see what happens here shortly. Looking over here at the clean chart. Here. So consolidation between these two zones, between the 450 and the 400. Take a look at that a little later. Here's the SR chart, see if there's any SR zones nearby. Let's see anything below. It's just this huge zone down here. This is the 4-hour support resistance. It's a little far off. All right, so here on the SR charts, you guys can see that the price is kind of bouncing between this support resistance right here, down below. You can see the range right here as well on the clean chart. Let's see if price, so if price invalidates this this lower end right here, then obviously we'll put the sellers back in control from this point. There's no confluence yet, so we'll see what happens. Market's gonna open shortly in about 2 minutes. Breakout's looking like a possible sell here. So I'll know the direction of the breakout shortly in about a minute. If the candle's too big, obviously flip it, but let's see what happens here. So we got Fed Powell speaking at 7 o'clock, guys. That's the biggest thing to look out for today. We got another V1 setting up right here. So the breakout for today is supposed to be a sell. If you guys are looking to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take it. Like I said, I've been saying, the market hasn't been as consistent as I needed to be for me to take these breakouts. So I just haven't been taking them. But I have marked them up and they've been hitting for the past, 3 weeks now. Ever since New Year started. So we will see what happens here when market opens up in about 10 seconds. We got market opening up shortly. Again, I'm not in this breakout. I'm just marking it up for you guys. And market is now open. So there we go with the breakout, currently running in profit with the 50-point mark right here in case anybody wants to get out at that 50 mark.
Connection lost.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with NinjaTrader. I keep getting connection lost this whole week and last week. For some reason, the connection has just been really, really bad. So you got this huge candle right here, huge candle with huge wicks on both ends. Liquidity pretty much got knocked out on both ends. You can see the lower end liquidity right here. It all got wiped out. Basically went for a quick liquidity grab to the bottom end, and then it came up and then it knocked out liquidity above here as well. So a little tricky right now, market. It's kind of been like this all week and like last week for NFP. It pretty much just goes and whipsaws back and forth. So whipsaw down, then a whipsaw up. We got opening price right there. So I'm gonna clean this up. Liquidity pretty much got knocked out right there, both ends. Price is pushing up. The breakout is pushing up to its TP right there for 50 points. Having trouble getting past the sessions right here, of course. Same thing that happened below. So we'll see here if and when it closes above this area. This right here was an MPSV2, but it was at opening price, and then it was also at the sessions, that red flag area. So looking at the setup right here, we have an A++ setup. Looks like it would have came up on this end. Let's see. So let me see. We have a V1 engulfing right here. Then we had MPS V2 right here, and we had an engulfing right here. So this is an A++ setup. I mean, obviously it was right here at the session, so I would not have taken the trade, but and it was at open too. But it was a setup right there for the A++ that we were talking about yesterday during the mentoring session. There's three confluences here. Confluence, MPS V2, confluence, entry would have happened on the MPS2 candle right here, and it would have pushed up. Let's see. So Daniel said isn't, oh yeah, I think I might have marked this up wrong. So I think the trade here was actually for a sell, guys, for the breakout. If you guys want to pull out for profit here, because I screwed this up, you guys can pull out for profit currently if you did take the buy. It does look like it was a sell, actually. Let me measure this candle prior. I think I was looking at it for a buy because this candle right here was kind of big. And I was like, okay, we're probably going to flip the position. But yeah, it was a sell. So if you guys want to flip it the other way, I mean, you guys can. If you guys are happy with your profits, you can close out. I kind of screwed up this position or the analysis for the breakout for the day, guys. It's in profit right now. So if you guys did take the buy, you can close out for a profit. However, the analysis here for the breakout entry and strategy is for a sell, actually. Another reason why I was looking for a buy here is because the buyers were in control. So I was I was focused on looking for this to be a buy to begin with. So that's my bad, guys. Sorry. I was just looking the other way because of my analysis here was for a buy specifically on the normal chart. But if you guys want to flip it to a sell, I mean, feel free. I just don't see any confluences here for a sell yet. Like at this very moment. All right, so I haven't taken any entries yet. I've marked up a couple things here. I'll be looking for something else as price continues to move along. So I mean, there's a couple things here that I can sort of identify. So we can probably push the buyers in control over here. I mean, that was the initial. And then the sellers kind of push price down. And then if you wanted to put buyers back in control right here, we could, because this was the opening candle, but obviously, you know, it over here spiked down. So I think, I mean, if you wanted to set this up as a new buy, buyers in control, because we do have an engulfing here, we can restart the whole pattern again. So looking at this right now, price hit liquidity, if we were to restart the pattern, this would be the first engulfing. This would be an MPS V2 right here on this specific candle. The only problem with this here is that it's on the sessions. It's on that purple line right there. So I wouldn't have taken this specific trade. You know, again, I'm still following my red flags here. This is an MPS V2 setup though. Because we had a buy signal here, price retraced, this candle broke above it. But again, because price here was at the sessions, it was actually touching it. For me personally, I would not have taken that specific trade there. But it is currently running right now. It's running in profit. I wouldn't necessarily, for me personally, take it, but I mean, there's a setup right there. This liquidity got knocked out, so I'm going to take that off. This liquidity got knocked out too, so I'm taking that off. I believe there's a low right here, so I'll put a new liquidity level on that lower end. So this is running. I mean, there's a lot of entries here that are coming up, but again, like I said, they're at the red flags, guys. So that's what's making them a little bit of a tricky entry. And of course, a full TP right there again for another MPS V2. So what I would be looking for here personally is I'm going to look for another engulfing pattern or a V1 variation to the upside, one more confluence. Because if I was going to reset this entry here, like I said, if I was to reset the entry, we have an engulfing MPS V2, and then I would look for the continuation to the upside. So liquidity right here again got hit, and we'll clean this up. Two buys so far pushed through. The breakout that I incorrectly called did hit 50 points right there. So if you guys are still holding on to it, the 50 points did get hit. I think what I should do, like moving forward with the breakouts, is I should align it with the direction of price. Like for example, here, I think this was a good analysis for myself because I was already looking for buys here to begin with. The breakout here is supposed to be a sell, but since I saw the buys push up, it, for the most part made sense. So I'll try to use that as the analysis, and I'll probably, tie that into the breakout entry. Like I think if it does line up with my direction bias, then it'll usually hit for the most part. So just something to look at, something to pay attention to. Hey, Lamar, morning. All right, so we got two MPS V2s back to back just hit right now. This one I hit, and then this one hit. They're both at the red flag area, unfortunately. So it's not really a good area to be trading in. I'm still sticking to my plan here. So what I'd be looking for next is I'd be looking for a V1 variation or engulfing candle. So basically look for a marker down here to indicate that we have some sort of reversal or continuation confluence. I say reversal or continuation because you can use it in both ways. Like for example, if we were to get an engulfing up here, we could say price is reversing back down, and then we can put like a sell right there, right? Or a sell directional bias. But we just don't have that yet. There's no reversal patterns from the upside. So right now, I mean, it's still kind of looking like price is pushing up further. So like I said before, guys, my indicator here that I created, it's set to like specific price points. So like right here, I know this looks like it might be a double body. I don't know if it's exactly a double body though. Because if it was a double body, my indicator would plot a V1 right here. So I mean, just something to keep in mind, guys. Lately the market's been kind of choppy where you get like these little gaps. They're like not big gaps, but they're very little gaps where, like for example, right here, this is an engulfing, but it doesn't say V1 there. So I think price might have gapped at the last second, and it's like not exactly on the same close. Because the way that I coded the indicator is that it has to close on the same exact price. And I don't see a V1 marker here. So I'm not going to take this right here. But this is a confluence that I was just talking about, right? Because we have confluence right here. We have the MPS V2. Another confluence, if it was to come up, that would be that'd be a A++ setup. So this would have been A++ setup right here for entry. I'm surprised the ATR has been pretty low this week. I mean, ATR is currently at 20. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Expecting a little higher, like maybe a 25 or something like that. So here goes that A++ setup that we were talking about. Currently running in profit, but I didn't have my marker there, so not one that I personally would have wanted to take here specifically. Daniel said, I wonder what summer markets are going to look like this year since regular markets are already pretty slow. Yeah, I agree with you 200%. And I'm curious because like you said, it's in a toss-up. So I'm hoping that it's not super, super slow, or it might stay kind of similar to how it is now. But I mean, who knows, right? Who really knows? We'll see. Because who knows? We might go into a war by summer. Like, there's a lot of different things that may happen, especially under Trump's control. there's just a lot of things like I think his initial executive order flurry kind of threw the market off a little bit. I think that's why like there's not much focus on like one sector. It's because Trump keeps implementing a lot of different things and like nobody knows what to look at, right? Like one day he's implementing all these executive orders. Another day he's implementing all of these tariffs. Another day he's like, there's something that's going on almost every day. And I feel like everybody's focus is kind of like all over the place. So that's why I think a lot of people are kind of scared in the market right now. There's a lot of fear in the market. Um, Not necessarily to sell, but a lot of fear where people don't know what to do. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what happens as well. Yeah, Brock said, I wonder when Trump will be done with the executive orders and sanctions. Yeah, I know, same here. It seems like every day is something new. Every day, at least every week. Maybe not every day, but every every week for sure. Barack said these price gaps are also contributing to the mess. I agree. Totally agree with you. Ross is asking, what are the settings for my ATR? I believe they're at 14. Yeah. So ATR length 14, you can change them to 7 if you want to have something closer. It's not going to make a huge difference, but kind of gives you like, the movement of like 7 candles versus 14. But it barely moved by like 1 point. So not a huge difference. It's going to give you a more accurate look, but I think 14 is fine, the default. Ross said today, Powell speaking, not Trump. Yeah, Powell is speaking today. That's what I thought I mentioned that earlier, right? Powell speaking at 7 o'clock. No Trump today. Yeah, no, Trump's been so the thing with this is that Powell and Trump, they have like opposite views, right? Like Powell wants to control, he wants to stabilize the economy, but the thing with Trump is that he doesn't, right? These tariffs and all this stuff is not going to help the economy. Inflation's going to go, like inflation's already up. With these tariffs, inflation's going to go even higher. It's not necessarily helping. This candle right here looks like it might be an engulfing candle, guys, if it does close bigger. So this could be a setup for an A plus plus, like an actual A plus plus. And this is something that I would be willing to take. It's gotta close like decently though. So this is an engulfing. It has to for sure close bigger. Like it can't like be at the last second kind of bouncing around. So I'll be taking this as an engulfing if it closes bigger as the A plus plus setup. Candle closing 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Order submit order.
All right.
Order
So
filled.
it's right here. 502 is a setup. I don't know earlier, so my TP's at 501. They got him like a little better entry point. So I'm hoping the volatility here picks back up, but like this right here is just a setup for basically the A plus plus that we talked about earlier. So I'm gonna analyze it for you guys. We have the confluence right here for an engulfing. We had an MPS V2 come up right here. And then we also had another engulfing right here. It's just the volatility is kind of low right now. And I think it looks like price here is it's consolidating here a little bit. It's not super bad, but it is consolidating here a little bit. Let's kind of draw the structure. So we kind of want price to break past this structure right here. If price breaks past the structure, then price is likely, continue climbing up higher. But we kind of just have consolidation here. The problem is that we do have a Powell speaking in about 15 minutes, which, as you guys know, it's a tricky situation, a messy situation. Because I think that's why the volatility here is kind of dead. So let me check real quick. Yeah, we got 15 minutes till until Powell speaks. So I'm hoping this kind of moves up a little bit. If it doesn't move up, I might have to close it out a little early because I'm not going to hold it into Powell's speech. Because I have no idea what he's going to be talking about. So we'll see. Stand more. Yeah, price here is kind of just, I mean, it looks like it's going to bounce off here. See what happens here next. I hate when we have like big news days like this because there's just a lot of uncertainty. Like if price was moving smoothly or how it's supposed to move, then it would just push through. But this over here, it looks like we have like these blocky candles for the most part. Price is kind of just going back and forth as we speak. There it goes, it bounces off. I think Powell is the only event for today. As we push back up. Looking at the time and sales here, we have some buyers pushing in. Let me check the bigger orders. For the most part, there's more buys coming in right here. Buyers came in at 6:44. So about 3 minutes ago, a bunch of buy orders came in. Price is pushing back up as we speak. It's just low volatility. I was just hoping to squeeze some in here before Powell speaks. We got about 13 minutes till Powell speaks. The time themselves is showing a lot of buyers entering the market, so this is good for the position here. I just hope we don't get some like pre-news manipulation because that happens a lot. Got price pushing up right there. I'll give this one more shot. If this here breaks and closes above the upper range consolidation right there, then I'll hold on to it. If it doesn't, then I'll probably pull out early. Because we're cutting it close to the news. 10 minutes to news is typically where a lot of the pre-news movement starts to happen. Got 20 seconds left on this candle. I just want it to close above that structure. If it closes above, then great. If it doesn't, then I just try to get out a little earlier. Not really looking like it. So I think I'm going to try to get out. Move my TP a little closer right there. All right, I'm out of the position, guys.
Target filled.
I got out. I'm gonna wait for another one here. It just wasn't a good setup. So I got out at this upper point right here. I don't think I'm logged into here. Let me log in real quick. Thought I was logged in. Yeah, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna log into my account here. So I got out of that position at slight profit. So sorry guys, I thought I had this logged in, but I didn't. Anyways, you can see my entry right here. So my entry happened right here. You can see the buy marker and then the exit marker, which was up here. So I got in right here and then I exited right there. I just got out early because we're getting close to Powell speaking and I don't want to be caught in this position. I was waiting for it to close above this area. If it closed above it, I would have just held on to it because it's just a little further push to the upside for full TP. But, obviously I'm not going to take that risk. I'm not going to take that risk with Powell. Unless this was like an actual MPS V2, then okay, maybe But yeah, I wasn't planning on taking that risk here with confluence entry. It's all good. Yeah. So price here, you can see price is having trouble getting past this area. So that's why I pulled out there. Again, again, it had another trouble getting past it. We're getting closer and closer to Powell speaking in about 9 minutes. He's not going to speak immediately at 7, but you're probably going to see the market here kind of get a little volatile as people start to place their bets. Again, price is having trouble getting past this range right here. But I'll continue looking for the next entry. Yeah, CJ said, I don't like how this entry is making me feel. I made 10 points, so that's good. Yeah, me too, CJ. Same thing. I got out around that same marker. I mean, it was the setup was there. It was just the volatility is not there. You can see the ATR is getting really, really low. Again, this candle failed to break and close past it. The ATR here is pretty low. It's at 16 ATR. This is indicating that there's just not very much volatility in the market, right? There's not enough volume. It's nothing to push price around. There's buyers in the market, but it's not enough to like really push price where it needs to go, which is obviously up there. All right. Screenshot this right here. I'm still looking for entries though, guys. I'm not done trading. So I'm for sure not done trading right now. I'm just looking for opportunities here as soon as we get through what we're currently at in the market. So again, right there, see how price failed to get past that box? That was my target point for price to continue pushing. I'm really glad that we pulled out of that position there because it was just it just wasn't a good setup. I mean, it was a good setup, but the market conditions here aren't good. So again, right there, see how many times it tested this upper range? Tested it a lot actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times it tested this range, failed to break through it, or failed to close back through it. It broke through it, but didn't actually close. Sam said, I noticed something first time that all my levels work if I move them through 3 points up or down. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's little things like that that you can adjust that will tend to make all the difference, Sam. Same with me before too, because I used to mark up like, so what I used to mark up when I used to draw these zones is I would draw the zones at the wick, right? Once I started just marking it up like at the bodies, or not even at the bodies, just like in certain areas, like not all the way to the top or not all the way to the bottom, the zones here started to make a lot more sense, right? And instead of drawing zones across the entire screen, I just focused on like where the consolidation was happening and made all the difference for me here as well. This is a pretty interesting like movement here. You guys see how this thing here keeps going back and forth? It's like, but it's like blocky. It's not like a smooth push up or a smooth push down. It's like it comes down very sharply. It makes people think that it's going to drop and then it comes right back up. I mean, overall buys for today is still bullish, right? Because the sellers never came back in control. I mean, realistically here, the sellers really never came back in control. Technically, I can put here that the sellers are starting to get back in control, but I mean, there's no confirmation yet or no confluence of it yet. There's a V1 variation that happened from this high point. So, I mean, we'll kind of see if it invalidates. So if price ends up pushing above here to this line, then this is going to invalidate this this confluence, and then the buyers are still going to be in control. But if this ends up coming down further and it doesn't actually come back up, then in that situation, it's going to confirm that the sellers are in control, right? We have two confluences right here, V1 variation, and then we have an engulfing here. So the sellers might be back in control from this point. But we do have Powell speaking in about 4 minutes, so something that you guys want to be careful for. Also, the ATR is very low, 16 ATR. That's why you see price doing this. It just goes back and forth, because each candle is an average of 16 points. This is how much it's moving per candle. Not very much, right? So just be smart about it, guys. We got Powell speaking in about 4 minutes. I wouldn't take any trades here. If you are in a position, I would probably pull out for profit. The breakout is still in profit. I would pull out for profit here, guys. 50 points in profit, I would be happy with 50 points right now. All right. So again, we wait. You got price coming back down. Consolidation is still pushing around. Powell starts to speak right here at this blue line. That's where I got Powell speaking. We got more liquidity sitting up here. More liquidity right there. We got liquidity down here. We got liquidity like all over the place, guys. I'm gonna move this up so it's not all messy. These are all wins, so keep those up as green right there. So the sellers they're trying to take control here. We have three confluences. We have a V1 engulfing and then another engulfing. So we got three engulfing right here. If this here sets up for a MPS V2, this is an A++ setup. It's gonna be right when Powell speaks though, so I would take that as a sign to stay out, but I guess we'll take a look. So looking at this from a bigger picture, guys, price still has not broken out of this consolidation. I drew this consolidation earlier before we even got into this entry. And it's been going sideways for the past, we'll say almost 30 minutes now. It's a pretty obvious consolidation right here, consolidation range. Here's a clean chart. So I just moved up a level. So it's consolidating between the 500 and the 450 price point right here. It's not actually touching the price points, but it's consolidating in between. Not exactly the area that you want to be messing in. So just be, like I said, guys, be smart. That's the only thing I can tell you guys right now. Be smart about your position. You can see here that there's no direction because people are waiting for Powell to speak. Powell's going to say something that's going to move price. So when he starts speaking, it's going to push price up or it's going to push price down. And there we go. Powell's starting. He hasn't even said anything, and people are starting to bet. See how these candles here are spiking up and down? There's people here who are gambling against like what they think he's going to say. Yeah, and there we go. So this would have pushed up to my TP, of course, but obviously I'm not going to take that dumb risk. Let me check. I don't think Powell has even started speaking yet. I think people are just, obviously there's betting on it, on what Powell's going to say. Let's see, we got Powell, okay, live right here on CNBC. Let me pull it up. I mean, he hasn't even started speaking yet. Yeah, so he hasn't started yet. Let's see. Barack said taking the B2 in case it plays out. I'm not going to take it because Powell's speaking right now. Barack, I mean, you can take it if you want, but I personally wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't take it, right? I'm only looking for the A plus plus setups. You guys can see this huge candle right here. This is basically a big manipulation candle. People are basically betting both ways for this here to kind of go back and forth. Gotcha. Barack said that was before the spike. Yeah, that spike is kind of crazy, right? I mean, the MPS V2 actually never came up, but yeah, if the MPS 2 did come, back below this area, I would have, because we have the sellers back in control right here. I would have possibly been interested in taking that. All right, so price finally broke and closed past the range here on this candle. The buyers aren't in, they haven't showed to be in control yet. I mean, we can possibly just put a marker here, but the buyers have not shown to be in control yet. So in order for me to see the buyers in control, I need to see some sort of confluence from the bottom side, right? I need to see an engulfing, or I need to see a V1. I need something to basically show that price is going to push up. And it looks like price faked out and it's pulling right back down below it, which is all good. I mean, technically price is still within this range. It's been within this range for about a little over 30 minutes now, maybe 35 minutes. Powell just started speaking. Well, not speaking, but they're doing their opening remarks right now. So basically what they're going to ask right here is they're going to be asking Powell like what he plans on doing for the next year, next couple months, basically how he's going to transition from Biden to the Trump era. And I mean, the thing that you want to be careful for is when Powell actually is speaking. Right now, it's not a big deal, but when Powell starts to speak, you want to be careful because you're probably going to see price start to spike around. So just, obviously something to keep in mind. As this moves along. But again, right here, you can see price is not really going anywhere. Same consolidation from earlier. Price kind of just does nothing. All right, so we'll see if this here actually closes below. We have about 19 seconds left on this candle. If price does close below it, then I mean, the sellers have been in control since this area over here. So what I would look for is I look for a swing back to the upside. I wouldn't necessarily chase a sell here. We have 3 engulfing candles here. This is actually your entry here, Brock, for the MPS V2. I mean, I wouldn't take it, but this is an MPS V2 right here. It's at the sessions. So this thing was traced up and then it came right back down. So this is actually the entry for your MPS V2. It's also an A++ setup, but it's at the session. So, I mean, obviously I would not take the trade down here. So red flag. Yeah, so we have a V1 variation engulfing, another engulfing, and then right here, price retraced up, came back down, it closed below the momentum right here on this big red candle. And then the entry would happen on the close of this candle for an MPS V2 for A++ setup. We got 2 confluences and we have an MPS V2. This would fall under scenario. Yeah, and it's about to hit TP too. It's a nice setup. It just didn't meet my criteria, but this would fall under the scenario one. So reversal continuation, a third one, and then NPS V2 right here. So scenario one for NPS V2. There you go, full TP right there. Yeah, that would have been a nice entry. We got a lot of entries that came up today, guys. They're just like not at areas that we would take these trades at. So like, again, we had one right here, one right here. I took this one, but obviously, I mean, it would have hit eventually if we spiked up to the top like we did right here. It would have eventually hit the 20 points. So I'm just being very conservative today and very careful because of these red flags. These red flags have been in the way like pretty much all week and like last week. But yeah, scenario number one. I'll look for another one, of course, but there goes the setup there. And again, this is also me showing you guys discipline. Like you can see here, I marked up these entries. I see them happening. I have the opportunity of taking them, but I still don't take them. And I don't take them because, I don't want you guys to feel the need to FOMO or to like force a trade. Because usually like these trades will hit sometimes, but then that one time that you actually take it, it loses and you're like, damn, I should have just avoided it, right? That's kind of what happened to me last week. Last week I took a FOMO trade on Tuesday because I wanted to just get my first trade in. I ended up losing it because it was at a red flag. So to be smart and show you guys that I'm following my own rules, I just don't take trades at these red flags. CJ said, wait, I thought it was okay to take A++ at the session. I'm glad it hit TP. So from my testing, it's been hitting at the sessions, but I still don't want to take that leap for it yet because I feel like I don't want to bring bad luck. If you guys want to take them, feel free to take them. But I feel like if I take it, it's just not going to play through. I'll keep marking them up because you can see that they are hitting. We had one right here that came up. It was at the sessions again. Obviously, it hit TP. Another one right here, also at the sessions, hit TP. This one over here was a good entry, but we had Powell speaking right here at 7, so I didn't really want to mess with it. So again, Powell still hasn't started speaking yet. They're still doing the opening remarks. We have Fed Warno here, just asking away, or making their opening remarks, really. They haven't really asked any specific questions yet. The thing you want to be careful for is like when he actually makes a response. Because he could say one thing and it'll spike price up, he'll say another thing, it'll spike price down. It's tricky. Nice. Sam said he caught a gold buy, 60 points, trailing. But yeah, he missed the YM entry. Yeah, the V1 came over here earlier. Sam. And then there's a couple different confluences that came up around here as well. I mean, this tool has been super helpful because we're able to see it without having to actually look at it. Let's see, Kyle said this structure would be a head and shoulders, right? Let me see. I mean, it would be like a really messy one, but yeah, I guess, or no, it wouldn't, because the thing is the head would have to be a lot bigger. So it depends on where you're marking up the head and shoulders, Kyle. Let's see. So if you're marking up the head and shoulders from here, possibly. No, it wouldn't be because the head would have to be up there, right? There is no upwards movement. If you're talking about this little area right here, I don't think the head was high enough because the shoulder here is higher than the head. The head has to be higher. So like you'd have to have something like this where it's shorter and then the head is bigger. And then a shoulder that would be lower than the head because this is bigger, right? So it'd have to be like this. I mean, if you wanted to identify it as a head and shoulders, it would just be a really messy one because it would be like this. It wouldn't line up how it should have been. Like the head would be smaller than the shoulder. And then this shoulder over here would be like huge, which is fine. The head and shoulders, they don't come up perfect sometimes. Like I think sometimes people call this like 3 mountains or the pointy mountains. Like some people call it head and shoulders, some people will call this like pointy mountains because it looks like three mountains next to each other, and then it's like an avalanche, right? It comes back down. Um, so I don't think this would necessarily be a head and shoulders. It'd probably be like the three heads or three mountains or something. If you want to look it up, there's a bunch of like different patterns out there that are kind of similar to head and shoulders. But yeah, the spike here kind of screwed it up. If the spike was lower, how it was like this, then that'd be perfect, right? Because you want the head to be smaller than the shoulders, or the head to be bigger than the shoulders. Yeah, but it's a good analysis there. I mean, I would have looked at that as the same way. You'll rarely get a perfect head and shoulders. Like you'll rarely get something like this. It's always going to be super messy. Like you'll typically have a head and shoulders that's kind of like it'll be like this, you know, something like that. It's always going to be a different type of pattern, but you did identify that properly within this consolidation range. It's easy to see when you have a consolidation marked up because it kind of just points out to you. All right, so this liquidity is done with. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a low right here. And we got another high right here. CJ said if the structure has scoliosis, it would work. Yeah, right. With the back all screwed up. Let's see. Arc is asking if this is a setup, pullback setup. Yes, so this would be a pullback setup. It doesn't meet my A++ setup, Arc, but it is an NPS V2 setup if you are looking to take it. It has to close above this black line though. So if this green candle closes above, it has to close above it, like for sure above it. This would be an NPS setup. It doesn't meet my criteria because I'm looking for those A++ setups. But if you're just looking for the strategy by itself, then yeah, that does meet the criteria. Because we have a buy signal here, price retraces down, comes back up on the green candle. So this is to identify that the buyers might be back in control here. But I don't really have them in control because we don't have any confluences from the downside. See, I'm looking for see these markers right here, Arc. When you see these markers right here, see these red markers on top, these show you that the sellers are in control. When you got these green markers down below it, it shows you that the buyers are in control, right? So we had green marker right here, green marker right here. That's why I took the buy right here because everything lined up. It's not to say that this won't hit, but I would say that this is a low quality entry. So it kind of just depends. If you want to take it, I mean, feel free. I'll mark it up for you guys right here. I'm not in this position, but I'm just marking it up so that you can follow it. It might just bounce off the sessions right here and come back up higher. But again, I just don't have any confluences down here. I don't see any markers down here indicating that the buyers are in control. Technically, the buyers can be in control from like right here because price did push up. It's just not a very strong push to the upside. The thing with this too is that this touched this structure right here. You see how it's like staying below it? This is a pattern that was playing out a lot last week. So I would have liked this here, like your entry candle to close above this box. Yeah, and that's probably a smart decision. I'll take this off since you didn't take it, Arik. Yeah, Arik said if you don't shoot, I don't shoot, sitting on my hands. Yeah, so like I was saying, like we talked about on the mentoring session yesterday, Arik, I'm only looking for those A++ setups. I want the setups that I know for sure are gonna hit. Um, this right here just doesn't look very good because there's not any confluence below it. If we had a confluence, then great, but we just don't have it here. So I'm gonna play by ear and just kind of wait for this here to, kind of do something. So right here, we have another zone. You can kind of see that the zones are, I mean, for the most part, they're kind of just going back. Here, let me just turn off the indicators real quick so you guys can see things a little better. So it consolidated and ranged around this area. Now it came below and it's now consolidating and ranging below this area now. I put that the buyers might have been in control pushing price up here, but the sellers might be back right here now. So the reason why I put the sellers back in control right here possibly is because we have a high point right here that hasn't been tested. Right, we got a high point right there that's tested, that's not been tested. And then we have an engulfing V1 right here. So I'm just following the price action here. I'm trying to see if like we can, possibly catch something, but at this very moment, there's just nothing for us to take here. The volatility is very low. The ETR is at 17. What I can see happening here is a lot of people are just sitting on their hands. They're just waiting for Powell to say something to push price around. He's talking right now, but he hasn't really said anything to, I mean, he's kind of just reading a statement. So they're not exactly grilling him like they've done in the past. He's just reading his notes. There's a clean chart. Here's the SR chart. You guys can see the SRs are pretty much bouncing off the support right now. It's nothing going on right now. Volatility is low. I'm just waiting for this here. Waiting for the market to do something. So the breakout's still technically running, guys. I mean, this is the reason why I don't like taking the breakout because, the market's just not moving very consistently. Like the breakout's supposed to hit on open. 100 points isn't like a crazy move. So this thing's been going back and forth for a while. These are like summer market conditions for the breakout. Price pushed up pretty decent, but not enough. The real movement here is about like a 60-point move. Everything else are just like crazy wicks. So
Connection lost.
my Ninja Trader just lost connection again. Hey, when it does that, I need to see which account logged off. See, it's worse when it's like a client account. That's the thing that I don't like. So the connection area was for a client account. It wasn't for Apex or anything like that. I'm fine if it's Apex. Like if Apex has account issues, that's like it's expected, but not when it's like a personal account. And this is a really boring market today. I thought because Powell would be speaking, people would be going a little crazy, but it's actually the opposite. These candles here are not moving at all. Very small. ATR is currently at 17. But that the sellers could possibly be in control here, but I mean, there's not really any side that's in control. All right, so we'll just keep waiting here. All right, looks like the buyers are pushing price back up. So I'm gonna put the buyers back in control right here. So that NPSV2 that we were looking at, that ARC identified earlier, it's currently running in profit. I mean, it would have sat around for a bit, but it is running in profit right now. Looks like it's about to hit the TP right there that you're aiming for, ARC. I mean, it came down really deep in a drawdown. Came and knocked out liquidity right here. But sorry, it's pushing up. So this same entry that came up like, 10, 12 minutes ago, it's still running. That's another thing too. Like these scalps are supposed to hit right away. They're not supposed to be bouncing around like this. I didn't realize I had just a small table there for Powell. So I don't think Powell is really talking about anything crazy. His price isn't moving. He's just having like, I feel like he has a conservative plan for this year, which is not bad. It's a good thing. All right, so it's about to hit TP right there. Full TP for the NPS V2. This was just an NPS V2 entry, guys. Not an A plus setup, but an NPS entry by itself. So full TP right there on that one. Looks like every entry that we identified for today hit. We had this over here, which was an NPS entry. Or no, this was actually, yeah, this was an NPS entry from earlier. So this was an NPS entry from this momentum. We had another NPS entry right here. We had this right here, which was an engulfing entry, confluence. We had an NPS entry for a sell, and then another NPS entry here for a buy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 entries here, all hit full TP. Plus, we had the breakout over here that also hit 50 points, and it's still pushing to its full TP of 100 points there. So, I mean, today overall has been pretty good. It's just I'm being very conservative and very cautious about like what could possibly happen because of, obviously Powell speaking. So that's just me being careful. But the entries are hitting for today. So if you guys are taking, I mean, literally any of these entries, looks like I've locked in some pretty decent profit. So we're back in this upper range again, guys. We're back in this upper range from earlier. We got the buyers in control, but we don't have any confluences. Let's see. Lamar said, "Hey Sean, question about a pick I just added to the Discord team chat. Trying to find my active trilling stop limit. Yeah, sure. Let me pull that up. So, what platform is it? Oh, this is TradeAway, right? Yeah. So I think that's your trailing drawdown. Yeah. I that's not the way that I see it. Like you can go to your accounts and you can put distance to drawdown. Like if you drag the accounts button to your chart and then you I've never actually seen this before, but the way I do it is I open. So if you go to the top left where you have all the little things to add on to your chart, there's an accounts one there. You can drag that to your chart and then go to the columns and enable distance to drawdown. I'm assuming it's the same thing because it looks the same. And if you're in profit right now, or I don't know, I guess it kind of depends on like where you're at because it shows that you have 5,596. I just never seen this box before. So, I mean, it looks like it. Can anybody else confirm that? I've just never seen this box before. I would log in, but if I log into my TradeAway, it's going to log me out of my trading view. I can't be logged into two places. So I can probably look after, but it looks like that should be your distance to drawdown. All right, so right here again, price is still sitting over here in the price is still sitting in the consolidation range. Let's see, Barack said, I find it so hard to trade this market nowadays. Very hard to get 100% criteria met, but it's okay, preserving capital. Yeah, same with me, Barack. I'm used to taking a couple of trades like per day, but because of the conditions lately, I think the worst part is that we get into these consolidation ranges very often, right? Usually we don't get stuck into these. Like looking at the clean chart right here, like these consolidation ranges typically don't stay within this area. We'll usually get a consolidation, then it'll break below, some more consolidation, break below, consolidation, and it comes back up, right? I'm okay with that because we have some actual direction and movement. The problem with this here is like we'll have consolidation, huge fake out down, and back into consolidation. If you look at this here, it looks like the moves that happened above and below this area, they were just huge fake outs, right? They tried to lure in the buyers here, then they brought it back down, they lured in the sellers, and they pulled it back up. When realistically, it's like this is the actual meat of the market. Like price hasn't actually gone anywhere. It's kind of just stayed within this middle area. Whenever it pushes out, it just lures in buyers and sellers. It traps them, and then it comes back into the middle here. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? We have to adapt with the market. I think our strategies here, they work very well. Even with these types of markets. So you just got to wait for that setup to come because the setup's going to come eventually. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, we have an NPSB2 that came up, or it's about to come up right here. This is going to be an NPSB2 and it's also an engulfing. I wouldn't take this because it's not a A++ setup for me. I got to wait for the next confluence. So this right here is an NPSB2. Again, it's an NPSB2 by itself. There's no confluences there. Or there's one confluence, there's an engulfing candle with it. But it doesn't meet my A++ setup. So again, looking at the scenarios over here, the A++ setup is going to be, it's going to be a scenario 3. So the next setup that I'd be looking for would be a scenario 3. Because it started off with an NPSB2. We had a buy signal here, price retraced, came back up, closed. This is an NPSB2. And then there's a reversible continuation pattern right here, engulfing. So my entry for an A++ would be the next one. So I'd look for it to push up, retrace, give me another engulfing or V1 pattern right here. And that's where I would get into it from. So I mean, we're getting close to it, but it's not there yet. All right, so again, this is probably going to hit TP. Like I said, I'm only looking for these A++ setups, so I'm not necessarily trying to take every MPSV2. Let's see, Ark is asking, is the micro scalp okay if I have 4 accounts? Yeah, I mean, it's okay with as many accounts as you like. It's just I'm trading 40 accounts, so it's like you can obviously you can get the gist of it. It's going to be tough for me to close out of them all at the same price for like 40 plus accounts. So yeah, I mean, if you're just trading like prop accounts, I think it would be fine. For me, I'm trading like a lot of live accounts, like real money. So for me, there's a lot more risk involved. All right, guys, so full TP right here for the MPSV2. So pretty much, a lot of these entries, they're all hitting, guys. Like the entries here are hitting. It's just that, like I said, I'm being a little more cautious and careful about my entries here. This actually was a pretty nice setup because it did line up with an engulfing candle right there. I was a little tempted to take it, but the thing is, like, I didn't like trading in this range right here, right? Because we had trouble getting past this range earlier. So I don't want to risk it because I already had a bad experience being stuck right here. So I didn't want to risk it. Price is probably gonna try to reach the liquidity target here. So on the way up, I'm gonna be looking for another opportunity for entry. So I'm looking for price to maybe retrace back a little bit and then provide an engulfing or a V1 down here. And then try to ride this up further. Did you get into that one, Brock? I mean, it was a nice entry. I just didn't want to get stuck in this area right here like earlier. Nice, nice. So Brock actually took that trade there. So I'm glad that you guys are still profiting off these trades, even though I'm not taking them. It's all good. I'm not in a rush to force anything here, so just waiting for my setup to come to me. Also because Powell is speaking, so I think they've already talked about the important stuff for the most part. Or I don't know, I didn't even check what their agenda was for today. But it seems like whatever Powell's saying is good for the market. Yeah, Sam said good going with your entries, guys. All winners today. Yeah, I mean it's pretty solid, right? They're hitting pretty efficiently, so it's a good thing. This might be an engulfing right here, guys. If this here closes above this red candle, this might be an engulfing candle, so it's something I might be looking for here.
Connection lost.
Oh, great. Freaking Ninja Trader just connection lost again. Check, make sure what account logged off. Not good. There's no entry there. The candle didn't close engulfing. It like trips me out when I get that connection lost on Ninja Trader because the last thing I want to do is get into a position and then while I'm in the position as I'm exiting, it gets another connection lost. That's what happened last time. And the person who got disconnected right now is the person who got stuck in the position last time. Yeah, I might have to find a better solution at some point. All right, so there's no confluence here right now. If this candle here closes as a larger green candle, this will possibly be an engulfing again. Yeah, so right there it is pending engulfing. We've got 20 seconds left on this candle. If it does close engulfing, ideally I would like to take it, but it has to like for sure close. Like it can't be like a maybe candle. It's got to close like somewhere up here. And it's not looking like it's going to. No engulfing there. This is definitely not going to be an engulfing, so I'm not even looking at that one there. What might happen here is price might come back and retest this zone. I don't have the sellers in control here because there's no confluences from the downside or from the upside. I still have the buyers here pushing price up. Nice, Brock said he got it for the liquidity too. CJ said I wanted to grab it before it got to the Asia high. Yeah, same here. I would want it to hit before it got to the Asia high here. But obviously it's getting close. Like if we're getting an entry down here, it would have to be like around this lower area. Because then we can reach the liquidity target. This might be an engulfing right here. So MPS B2 engulfing, possibly engulfing right here. That was about like 40 seconds left on it. It's got some time. Again, this has to close as like a strong green candle, and it's not looking like it. We'll see what happens here in the next few seconds. The volatility here is starting to get flat again. And does not look like it's going to close engulfing, which is fine. Not a big deal. No entry there. And now we wait. This isn't going to close engulfing. So this is what I was talking about earlier, guys. See how like there's a small price gap. See how price kind of gaps up. These should be like lined up together. See how these right here are like, I mean, there's small price gaps there too. But see how like these are lined up, price pushes up and it comes back down. There's these little price gaps because what happens is price will close right here and at the last second it spikes. Like there's a bunch of sellers that just push price down. And then same with this right here, price was coming down. This green candle should have pushed up from the same level, but there's sellers that try to push price down really sharply at the last second. Same with this one right here, there was buyers in control. They spike price up a little bit, spike price a little bit. And whenever they're not lined up with each other, this shows you that there's like an imbalance in like who's in control. Like there's either sellers trying to push price really hard or there's buyers trying to push price really hard. Right here, you can see again, price closed below here. There's a small little gap there where price kind of pushed it up. I don't know if this had any effect with like whatever Powell is speaking about right now, but damn, that would have been the setup that we were looking for, CJ. That's literally what we were looking for right there. If we had this engulfing or one of these engulfing candles, I was aiming for the liquidity target right there. But it's all good. There is no entry there. Liquidity just got hit. I don't know if Powell said something to push price up like that, but whatever it is, push price right through it. And we're now at the Asia high. So at this point, I don't know if I'm going to have any more entries. I'm looking for one more at least. Looking for one more here. See, 7:37. We still got some time, so not necessarily done trading yet. Right. Hopefully there's no more red flags up here. Let me check real quick. All right, so we don't really have any red flags here. Price climbs up higher, that's great. The thing is, we need to have some sort of retracement because the A++ setup already, price actually hasn't came up yet. So we're still in a game for an A++ setup here. We have the buyers that have been in control since this area. We had an MPS that came up right here. There was one engulfing right here. So we have one more confluence. I mean, we're still in the runs for a possible A++ setup around here. I just need price to be away from the sessions. I don't want to trade down here at all. We got liquidity hit right there. And it's kind of a tricky area to trade in now because it's a little overextended. Let's see, Glenn is asking, how is 735 not a candle not an entry? I don't know. How is it an entry? Because there's no entry there for me. So I don't know if you can explain, Glenn, because if there was an entry, I would have explained it, but there's no entry there. So if you have an explanation for it, I mean, you can give some insight. I just don't see any entry. There's nothing here. There's no V1, there's no engulfing, there's like literally nothing right here. So yeah, I'll wait for you to have some sort of input, Glenn, but I just don't see, there's nothing there. Yeah, because I'm not even sure what you're referring to. Like, what strategy are you talking about? Let's see, we got some profits here from Barack. Barack locked in 807 for the day. Nice work, Barack. Solid win right there. I'll put that in it's okay, we have an engulfing right here. Looking to take this here as this closes. Count closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kind of got in a little early on
Order
that one.
filled.
So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to this here. 580. It's a little high, but I'll follow it. So I got in a little early, but obviously we'll follow right here. Just didn't meet my criteria. It is Powell. So he's speaking right now. Come on, Powell, pump it up somehow. Say something to pump price up a little bit. Oh, wrong setup, actually. 72 is a little too high. I adjusted it right there a little bit. Then when I get in a position, the volatility just gets really slow. Let's see. Hostile speaking. Price pushing up. So we're away about, let's say about like 10 points or so. We're up like about 7 points, and the volatility here is just, I mean, starting to flatten out. Let's see, is he still talking? Volume here is just really flat. I'm looking at the time and sales. I mean, price is pushing. There's like still buyers in the market, but it's kind of out in the open right now. So I'm waiting to see here if it like will push through. So the buyers are following it. Push up a little bit. A little more, 15 points. Time is at 43. Now I'm gonna get out. I got out of it, guys. The volume here is just too low. I just don't like the way how it's going
Order
right.
filled.
Especially because Powell's speaking. I don't want him to say something that's going to push price the other way. If you guys want to hold on to it, feel free, but I just don't feel comfortable because when it's something like this and there's like something that can, like, he could say one thing and it can just spike price the other way. If it was pushing through, then okay, great. But it was like starting to give out, like it started to give out right here and it pushed up a little bit, it started to give out a little more. So I just closed out right there. Got out at about like 17 points in profit. So this is why I didn't want to give profits back, because I was like, I'm already up. I'm only off by like 3 points. I'm just going to close out. And I closed out right there. Probably could have closed out a little higher, but closed out right there. And I made my profit so far for that specific trade. So I mean, decent profit on that. I mean, this will probably push up, but I had a feeling this was what was going to happen. I've had a feeling that some consolidation was going to happen right here. And that's probably what's going to do. It's probably going to create a new block, a new consolidation block. I just hate when like Powell's speaking. When it's a different Fed member speaking, it's okay because like it usually doesn't affect it too much. But when Powell speaks, it's like one word can easily just, it can really push price the other way. And when you see the volatility start to die down like this, like I was looking at the ATR and I was like, this is not really moving. 15-point ATR wasn't really worth the risk for me there. Nice. Yeah, CJ did the same thing. CJ said got 15 points in profit. Still pretty good. Yeah. So it's probably gonna push up to the full 20, like I said, but you know, I don't want to be trapped. I don't want to have to be in limbo here. Like I'd rather get out at 17 points and then be like, okay, whatever, I gave away 3 points rather than, and there you go, full TP. But it's okay. I'm good. I got out at 17, so it's not a big deal. There was like barely any drawdown on this trade. It was just the market volatility is what threw me off. And that's why I was like, I'm gonna pull out. So today's actually been a really good day, guys. Overall, looking at the profit so far, I mean, it's been a pretty good day. Like everything here hit, literally, we had no losses for today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries for the day, plus the breakout. And the breakout hit 200 points too. So overall, it's been a great day actually. Now that I think about it, it's been a pretty great day. No losses. The breakout even hit today. There we go. Lamar set it up. Yeah, no problem. If it says distance to drawdown, that's usually what it is. Was the number the same, Lamar? Because if it is, I mean that's good to know so that I know where to look to if I need to look for it. Okay, so pretty good day so far today. I mean it's pretty much 8 o'clock, so pretty good day overall for today, guys. We had a full TP on the breakout for a buy. And then I'll screenshot the scalps here. Like I'll take actual screenshots so that you guys can see my entry points. So I'll just screenshot this. There's a lot of entries that came up today. I'm not gonna list them all, but I think this thing is still pushing up. So the first entry I took was an engulfing continuation. And the second entry I took was so 7 total scalp entries hit today for full TP. I guess you guys can see it right there. I mean, the markups are pretty good for the day. I mean, the analysis played out perfect. The buyers have been in control here since 7:16. A little uneasy entry up here because of that consolidation move. Powell is still speaking, so I mean, there's probably still stuff gonna happen. He's probably gonna be done speaking in the next like 10 minutes or so. He's been speaking for about an hour now. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to screenshot my profits for the day.
Connection lost.
Oh, great. I don't know if you guys can hear my laptop. It just said connection lost again. So might be a good time for me to wrap it up. So many accounts here. Okay. Let me put this in the chat real quick. Guys, so just another reminder, I'm not going to be trading live tomorrow. I'm gonna be traveling. I'll be in the plane at that time, so I'm not going to be able to. There's a time difference in like the place I'm going, so I'm not going to be able to get on the live tomorrow. So just another reminder, guys, no live for tomorrow. I will be live the following day, but not tomorrow. So nothing on Wednesday, but I'll be back on Thursday. Yeah, okay, so here are my profits so far. So breakout hit full TP right there. We had 7 scalps that came up today. I only took 2 of them. I took an engulfing confirmation right here, engulfing continuation, and then I took another engulfing continuation right here as well. This. There's actually, I took 2 of them right here. I actually didn't take any MPS V2s. I took engulfing. So yeah, 2 trades right here, and then here are my profits. So I locked in I'll just do like quick math. 900 times 20, that's 18,000. Actually, could do quick math. 18,000, we'll say 20,000 right there.
Connection lost.
We'll say 22,000. So these are all my accounts right here. I just did an estimate of like 22,000 for the day. I only took one trade, like one full trade, basically one full trade and like one very partial trade because of the second. Shit, hold on 1 second, guys. We have another panic here. Shit, second, I gotta make sure these guys are out of their position. Okay, he's out. And I really get annoyed. I'm getting annoyed with NinjaTrader. Okay, no positions active. Now let me log into this guy's account. And the thing is that these are like real accounts. I'm trading real money, so my NinjaTrader just went into panic mode. Okay, good. Sorry guys, I just had to do that real quick. NinjaTrader's like getting on my nerves with just make sure the client accounts are good, or this specific client account. This profits are okay now. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna close out on my. There we go. I just need to close out on my NinjaTrader because it stressed me out every time it said that it had connection error, and then it kept telling me that it was going into panic mode. I don't know if you guys ever like got into that issue before, but I have so many accounts logged into my NinjaTrader, so whenever it does go into panic mode, I have to go through every single account to see which one is having issues. But anyways, here are my profits so far, or for the day, guys, and for the week so far. Locked in, these are basically the hedge accounts. So for the hedge clients, this is what they locked in, plus a couple of prop accounts down here. And then the rest of the prop accounts right here. So a total of 22,000 estimate profit for the day and for the week so far. We have some more profits over here too. So we got Christian, he locked in total profit of 1,100 for the day. Nice work, Christian. And then we have Art over here as well. Nice work, Art. Looks like Art had a break even on his first account, but on his other accounts right here, he locked in 405, 405, 405. So he locked in a total of well over, we'll say 1,200 for the day, 1,200. Nice work, Art. So solid start to your accounts for this week, and we'll keep locked in some more. He had this little home run right here, Art, in that. Nice work, guys. Yeah, if you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to send them in. I will see if there's any more questions here. So Sam said, good one, Sean, win stacking, bro. God bless. Yeah, definitely. So I'll see you back here tomorrow, Sam. Or not tomorrow, actually on Thursday. Won't be online tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully the market will be good for you guys if you guys do decide to trade tomorrow. Brock said it's going to be grateful though. It is a tough market and it's been a great day. We thank God. Yeah, definitely, Brock, 100%. CJ's asking, will we be getting the new indicators this week or are you still testing them out? So I'll try to get them to you guys today. If I have time, if I don't have time, it'll be probably by Thursday. So I'll get the indicators over to you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, I think they're going to be super, super useful for you guys. And I think you guys are going to like them a lot because they do help with identifying, these A++ setups and these confluences along with the NPS V2s. Patricia said, Sean, you may want to get a remote session with Ninja. It was happening to me with the disconnect, and they went into my computer and deleted the TMP and DB files, but don't do it yourself because you could delete something you might need. I did it and no disconnect issues now. Okay, thanks, Patricia. I'll definitely get in connection with them. I'm glad you brought that up because I'm like, for some reason, I get these disconnects like a lot lately. So I'm assuming it's like certain files. But yeah, I'll get in contact with them and then I'll get that fixed, thankfully. Let's see, Siobhan's asking, hey, Sean, quick question. What's the recommended setup for Apex group trading? Is it to use TradeAbate or to go to NinjaTrader? So for me personally, Shivam, I would use NinjaTrader. The reason why I say NinjaTrader is because you can use the ATM settings. So the ATM settings are what I use here. I don't know if I have a screenshot here, but basically you can set your automatic TP stop loss. It's set up over here somewhere. You can't do that with so here's like one thing too. So here's a copier from NinjaTrader. Like right here, I have like my leader account, and then I have like 50 accounts here, basically, more than 40 accounts. And then I have that pre-allocation, so I can set the contract size to each. If you're trading with TradeAvate, you can't set pre-allocation. You have to like divide the contract sizes across the accounts. So if you want to trade more accounts, I would go with NinjaTrader because you can have like multiple prop firms in your personal account and stuff like that. With TradeAvate, you can only have one set of accounts. So if you only want to trade, if you're only trading Apex, you can only trade Apex. You can't trade Apex plus Tradeify plus Perdia plus personal like I do. You have more options on NinjaTrader. The only downside to this is that you need a PC computer. So if you're trading on a Mac, it's going to be hard. You have to run something like Parallels. I bought a whole separate laptop. You have to execute trades for NinjaTrader. And that's kind of what I use. So for me personally, I would recommend using NinjaTrader. I think it's more reliable and you can have more accounts. TradeAbate's okay, but there's a limit on the contract size. And then also you have to use only one login, which you're limited to only one thing. So for the most part, I would probably recommend that that you use NinjaTrader versus the TradeAbate group copier. But if you want to use a TradeAbate group copier, you can start off with that. And then later on, if you want to move on to NinjaTrader, you can do that as well. I think that the biggest hurdle for that is just going to be having a PC. Because I have two PC laptops just for my entering my trades, and then I have my main Mac here for analysis. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, Shabam. You can just like search up like NinjaTrader tutorial or NinjaTrader copier, and there's a whole bunch on there. That's where I learned to use it as well. So it's not super difficult. Let me scroll over here real quick. So Ross said it would be cool to have him tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Ross. I'm gonna try to get him on to you guys today so that tomorrow and I'm not live with you guys can still look for entries. And I think it's gonna make a world of a difference that you guys are gonna be able to see, the confluences right here instead of having to actually look for it. It'll literally just tell you where they're at. Let's see, Ark is asking, is it better to take all trades at a high 3 contracts or take all trades rather A plus or not and drop contract size? So I think it kind of depends, Art, because that's what I was doing before. So before I was taking half contract size and I was taking like almost every entry that came up. But now I just increase my contract size and I just look for the A plus setups. So I would play by ear, Arc. If you feel like you want to just take like fewer trades and you just want to wait for those perfect setups, then you can just increase your contract size like I'm doing and just take 1 or 2 trades per day. Or if you want to take more trades, because for example, here there was like 7 trades that came up, right? I mean, it kind of would have equated to the same thing, Art, because you would have had half points on like half. Say for example, you made $100 per per trade, right? So this would be $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we only had 2 A plus setups, so that'd be, if you were to double that or triple that, to increase your contract size, you have about the same. You have about like maybe 600, right? So you'd be off by like maybe a couple $100. So it's kind of, you gotta think about it yourself. For me personally, I think it's better to focus on only A plus plus setups and then take a bigger contract size. Because when you do that, you'll pay more in commissions by taking more trades versus just taking 2 trades with higher contract size. If that makes sense, Art. So I would stick to the A plus plus, but again, that's just me, and I'm looking for the absolute best entries. CJ said, thanks, Sean. Can't wait to backtest other strategies with the new indicator to prepare for the summer. Yeah, I know there's gonna be a lot of, I think having this tool here is gonna help a lot with the summer because you can actually trade a lot of consolidating entries. So like for example, here, see how price was consolidating within this middle area? You could have taken the engulfing up, engulfing down, V1 down, engulfing down. You could have bounced back and forth, just taking trades in both directions. Shabam said, I assume eval takes all trades. I assume eval take all trades makes sense. Then funded 6 A plus plus. Yeah. So that's another thing too, like what Shabam said over here. Relates to like what you asked. All right. Because if you're doing the eval, you want to pass like right away, right? So if you want to pass right away, obviously the more entries you take, the better. So yeah, I think Shabam's approaching it in a better way. Because like for me, I'm already funded, so I don't have to take a bunch of trades. I just look for those A plus plus setups. But yeah, if you want to take all of them and then maybe lower your contract size just to pass quicker, you can do that. Because at this point right now, the evals are on discount. So they're on discount until I think the 15th. So you guys can kind of, you can kind of go ham with your position and try to get those passed, if not like reset for half price while you can. Again, if you guys want to have that promo, the promo is 80% off and then half off resets. I think if you use like the regular code, they don't give you all of the promos. But if you use this code right here, the admin code, it's JJNIEOWR. Just go to the Discord, go to Funding Companies, Apex right here. This will give you all of the promos. I think if you use the one that they provide, they only give you like certain promos, not all of them. Because obviously they want to make more money off the evals, right? So if you use the admin code, you'll get the better promo versus the one that everybody else is using. Let's see, another question from CJ. CJ said, also, what are your thoughts on Take Profit Trader? I've been seeing their ads a lot since the new year, and I believe we can add them to Replicano since they use NinjaTrader TraderBait. Yes. So I've used Take Profit Trader in the past. I think one of the problems is, well, the problem with me in the past was that I tried to use them with the micro scalps and they don't allow micro scalping, and their evals are a little expensive. So I think now that we've been doing these A plus setups, CJ, they might be good. I've used them in the past. I've just never gotten funded with them because I was either using the breakout and they worked for a little bit and then I blew the account. And then I tried the micro scalps and they didn't allow it. But now that we're doing these trades, I think you should be fine. If you want to try them out. I mean, they're kind of expensive. They're like $150 a month. But from what I've heard and what I've known from other people that use them, they're a good prop firm for sure. Ark is asking, is anyone subbing for you tomorrow? Unfortunately not. So nobody's gonna be subbing for me tomorrow, but I will be in the chat. So if I get off the plane, I'll be in the chat. I'll be looking at the market from my phone. And if I see anything good, I'll be in the Discord. So just check out the Discord team chat, and I'll be in here kind of like running things down if I do see anything. Or if you guys do see setups, you can mark up and then put a screenshot there, and then I will analyze it for you if that's something that you guys need. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, just another reminder, guys, no live session for tomorrow. I will be out of the country. So I will be back live on Thursday, but I won't be live tomorrow. We'll come back Thursday, Friday, wrap up this week, and then we'll be back to a normal schedule next week as I return back here from vacation. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys then. If you guys have